So once again, the media are after Ruben Amorim, and I've got a few clips here, one from Sky Sports and one from LBC of all places. And, you know, you'd think that maybe United lost the last game against Sunderland, but no, we didn't win that game. But it's like they had all this negativity about United ready to go, and I thought, we'll just put it out anyway. So here's Carve, let's play this bit.
But don't you think instead of having a go at the media, Jim Ratcliffe should be speaking to his head coach and saying, when you are speaking, don't give so much away.
Well, there'll be people
it's not the journalist's fault.
No.
Look at that face on Carve. He is someone who is very offended by this comment from Jim Ratcliffe about journalists and, of course, reporters like himself as well, with the knee-jerk reaction, which is true. There is a knee-jerk reaction. It's like one loss or a couple of losses, it's time to sack the manager or change the system or whatever else. It's all about change because it's not working. And then we'll go on to some stats in a minute to try and back this point up, which I'll go on to in a minute as well. But Jim Ratcliffe, I think, is right. Like, he's saying about giving 3 years, but at the end of the day, give the manager some time. Like, Arteta went through an awful period, and it might not work out. But you got to give the manager time. He hasn't even had a year. He's just had his first transfer window where he's got a whole new attack line there with the front three, new goalkeeper. There are still issues there. We know about the midfield. It's all very clear. We know we can use another wing back and other players in there too, and other players to move on like Casemiro, Maguire, etc., Luke Shaw, Delo, all those players. We all know that's the plan ahead. But you got to give the guy some time. And I agree with Jim Ratcliffe that it is very knee-jerk. It's very flip-flop behaviour, especially a lot of our fans. And look, if you want him out, that's fine. You all have very valid reasons for that. You don't like his style of play. You think he'll play, we'll play better under another manager. That's totally fine. I just think you've got to give the guy some, an opportunity. And it's just funny because Carve, I think he speaks a lot of waffle usually. It's just funny how offended he seems by this. But anyway, we'll get on to the bit after here where they do bring up this graphic once again, which I've already gone through in another video. I think, again, add context to this and it makes more sense to what's actually happening. But they'll still bring this graph up, I'm guessing, every opportunity they can do. That's not a good looking graph, is it? But at the same time, what's happened in those 34 Premier League games? Well, many of them we sacrificed for the Europa League. Some were at the start of his tenure when he's trying to get things sorted out with the new system. And look, I don't mind. I'm not focused on the 34 Premier League games. I'm focused on last season, which was a complete write-off. I mean, we sacked a manager. It was that bad. And then we got a new manager in who's got a whole different way of playing. Then it wasn't looking great. And then we actually, thought, okay, let's try and put all our eggs in the Europa League and go that way. And I've said that a few times already in the very few videos I've done. But that's what happened. No one ever mentions, by the way, there's been a graphic coming up saying how we only beat teams who have 10 men or are promoted or relegated. But how about anyone going to mention that we beat Arsenal, with 10 men ourselves at the Emirates to knock them out the FA Cup? That never gets mentioned ever, by the way. But anyway, let's go to this bit. So then there's this table here. Look at the, listen to the, I'm trying to find where it is, but it's the tone.
So he needs to think about that. But again, the quotes from Sir Jim and what have you, there's a bit of defence in there.
Look at that. He's 15th of 17 teams since he joined Manchester United. Yeah, I mean, that is not good enough for Manchester United, is it?
No.
That I don't know this presenter, but the tone he has there is it's like telling off a naughty child. That's not good enough, is it? That's just not good enough. Well, it's not good enough. Of course it's not good enough. But where's all the stuff about Spurs? I mean, it's so bad. Spurs are below us. Like, where's all the Spurs talk? There was never anywhere near the amount of Spurs talk as there was for Man United. Obviously, they won the Europa League, so they could cover over those cracks. But still, it's a bit of a joke. And also, this table is just some made-up table of since Amorim took charge. But I don't care about that. I care about the table now for this season, where after he's had that first window. We're currently 1 point behind Chelsea, the world champions, 3 points away from City, who everyone loves, and they can't stop sniffing Guardiola's arse. And was it 6 points off top? Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously, we got Liverpool away next, and there's some tough games, but let's actually go through it and show, one way or another what we're going to do in those games. Anyway, now we have the LBC clip, which I assume LBC stands for Let's Be See You Next Tuesdays, because it's a really stupid thing. When I first saw it, I thought, oh my god, they are just here rage baiting Man United fans. But and I guess it's worked. So I mean, let me play the clip here. Then.
But if this was like football, Mrs. Badenoch, you need to look across to Old Trafford of the manager of Manchester United, Ruben Amorim, who keeps saying, give me time, and keeps losing matches. You're losing councillors, you're losing support, you're losing members, and you want more time. You are the Ruben Amorim of politics, Mrs. Badenoch.
Look at that little smile. He is so happy with himself about that. Now, I don't know if he thought that up or if someone told him to do that, but what a joke. What an absolute joke. Like, bringing Amorim into this conversation is so childish and pathetic. And I mean, is that not a face only a mother could love? No, I don't know who this guy is. Maybe I should, but I mean, what was that about? Why did he have to bring Amorim up? It's just it's so anti-United. But as we all know, hated, adored, never ignored, and that seems to be the way. Which, you know what? That, if anything, that's a sign for Amorim, for support of him, because that's what we want. We want people to not like us. So, if they're saying, get rid of him, if they're saying he's awful, I think there might be something in there. Maybe, you never know. Why would they have our best interests at heart anyway? Like Carragher and all these others. I'm just sick of it. I want to go through it. I want to go through it with Amorim, and this really just gets that fire in the belly for you, because you're like, this isn't deserved. Like, this is not deserved. And all these the poor record is not fully on him. There have been issues with his management, absolutely. I'm not saying he's perfect manager or anything, but he's got a system which I think can work and is very flexible. It's not rigid. But it's had players who are absolute clowns who have ruined a lot of our last year or two results. Andre Onana and the rest, all the other mistakes. It's not just one man who has caused this. And so, yes, I'll leave that face on the screen while I do the outro. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this? I just think it's ridiculous. I'm getting, I shouldn't let it rile me up so much, but I just think it's a joke, really. It's just a joke. And also, from some of our fans really trying to dig it in, it's like Amorim's trying to reach the surface in a hole, and you got the media just getting a shovel and whacking his head down. It's like, you get back down there. Keep being crap. It's like, no, let the guy actually breathe a bit. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe as well if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.